How should people be reacting to that in Colorado?
Well, I think you can never predict where, with an epidemic or a virus, a communicable disease like this, where it might turn up. But you can be prepared. And I think our Director of Public Health and the Environment, Dr. Larry Walk, has sent out directives looking at all the issues of, should a case break out, do we have the right equipment? Are people trained? Do we have the isolation capacity to deal with a much larger outbreak? And we're certainly ready. Again, I don't think the plan is any, people shouldn't be upset. We're telling people, it's going to be clean. This is they've got a standard operating procedure, but we have gone to great lengths to make sure that we are prepared if something does escalate.
So people should not panic.
Yeah, no, people should not panic.
No panicking. All right, talk to me about how the campaign's going so far.
Well, it's the kind of funny thing about the campaign is I love it. I don't love every minute of every day. The attack ads I could do without, but trying to take the work you've done and summarize it in short sentences and get it down to the essence. That we've reduced teenage pregnancy by 40%, right? And really looking at how did we do that, and could we have done it better, and how do we take at what we've done in the last 4 years and look at how we're going to expand that in the next 4 years. And that's, it's sort of like, when you turn 50, right? A campaign like this, running for re-election, is you're looking back, but you're also looking forward.
And I wanted to ask what you think the major issues are that you are focusing on in this campaign, especially in the last 3 weeks, and maybe as they pertain to Southern Colorado too. What do you want people to know?
Well, I think we stayed with the same basic framework of the campaign from 6 months ago, right? It's about jobs, jobs, jobs. But then also it's about the what attracts entrepreneurs. Notice, I don't think we're never going to attract giant corporations here, but we can, and we have been very successful in attracting entrepreneurs who, they're not just trying to build a business, they're trying to build a life, right? They're going to get involved in their kids' schools, they're going to get involved in the community. And those kids care about education, right? And that's why we passed a transparency bill last year that's going to allow parents to go to a website and see, at their child's school, how much money goes to the teachers, how much goes to the building, how much gets, taken off into the administration or off to the school district. In addition to education, I think young entrepreneurs and all of us care about healthcare, right? And again, we've expanded healthcare. The increase in the average insurance premium for the coming year was only up about 1%, and that's the lowest in 50 years. And I think part of the goal has been to, even as you're expanding coverage, and again, nothing stays the same, so you've got to make sure quality is improving. But we wanted to control costs. Costs, inflation in healthcare has been going up double digits for several decades. Now we've got, I think, our arms around it, and we're going to try and use that scaling to reduce it. We've also reduced the growth, the inflation. We've also cut prescription drug abuse by 20%. People don't realize what a serious deal this has become, but from 2000 to 2010, it almost doubled in terms of fatalities, over 400 fatalities in 2010, and we really took this on. And it's more than 3 times the number of fatalities from drunk driving accidents. So we've reduced it by 20% in the last 2 years. I think we're going to reduce it by another 20% in the coming 2 years.
Talk to me about what differentiates yourself from your opponent, and because he talks about these things too: jobs, healthcare,
sure,
the economy.
Well, I always tease him that a lot of what he's suggesting we do, we've been doing, right? He talks about cutting regulations. We've eliminated 1,500 regulations, and have taken another 5,500 we've dramatically simplified or moderated. We've tried to find new access to capital, make sure our workforce is better trained and ready for the jobs that are out there. Forbes magazine last year said that Colorado has the #1 workforce in America. Business Insider said just a month ago that we have the #1 fastest growing economy. The Kauffman Foundation rated, those metropolitan communities across America that have the highest number of tech startups per capita. Well, Colorado Springs was 9th. Colorado had 4 of the top 10 in America. So we must be doing something right, but at the same time, we've got a lot of work to do, right? We've had a number of long-term unemployed. We've got to expand that. It's still hard. Kids are coming out of college with too much debt. My gosh, you should see some of these kids. I met a school teacher who's 26 years old, and he's got over $120,000 of debt. And then he's not going to get that paid off till he's 50.
Do you think, this came up in the debate last night in Southern Colorado, but I want to know if you think legalizing recreational marijuana was a mistake?
You know, I think it's too early to say. You know, the war on drugs was not a success. That being said, I opposed legalizing marijuana for recreational purposes, and I think almost every elected official did, because you don't want to have to do something like that just on a state-by-state basis. It's a pretty steep hill. That being said, I think we've made a lot of progress. If we can tax it so that we eliminate the black market, right? I think then we have a real chance of doing a better job of keeping it out of kids' hands. You know, I was talking to one of my neighbors last week about my concern that this would allow, that legalizing marijuana would allow this high THC marijuana to get into the hands of more children. And he said, well, you know, in the old days, every kid who wanted it was able to get access to it, and drug dealers don't care how old you are when they sell it to you. If we can eliminate that black market, then I think we have a much better chance of keeping, you know, this high THC stuff out of the hands of kids, where it has potential to do harm.
You only have a couple more minutes with you.